The United Nations of Earth, UNE, formed in 2380 to unify all of Earth's nations under one government. It was a historic moment meant to bring people together and facilitate humanity's expansion into the stars. At the time, Earth was in a precarious position. Despite having terraformed Mars and the new system of Croshaw, humanity's homeworld was still desperately overcrowded and pristine wilderness increasingly scarce. Pollution choked many major cities and people's quality of life was in decline. While advances in commercial spacecraft and terraforming tech made living off-world possible, it remained extremely expensive to leave Earth and surprisingly difficult to convince people that life off-world might actually be better. To address the issue, the UNE created the Eastern Expansion Program to support navjumpers on their search for new frontiers and encourage people to fill colony ships. The program was met with modest success before being rebranded Project Far Star in 2412. Now considered a key driver of the human colonial expansion era, Project Far Star opened offices in major cities around Earth to recruit colonists, aid explorers with subsidized ship upgrades, and more. In late 2429, Wendell Dobbs visited the Project Far Star office in Shanghai and submitted an application to purchase a discounted jump drive. The application was approved and Dobbs received the component in mid-January of 2430. He rushed to install it, then meticulously cleaned his ship so it'd be spotless when the Red Festival began on January 25. According to legend, Wendell Dobbs spent the next 2 weeks celebrating the Red Festival with his family and reconsidering whether or not to leave them. On the final day of the festival, his family attended a lantern festival where Dobbs helped his daughter with a particularly difficult riddle. The two spent hours taking in the impressive lanterns and talking through solutions when the answer suddenly struck him. Dobbs looked up and saw a solitary lit red lantern rising through the sky. Away from everything else. Off on its own. Convinced it was a sign, he noted its course. Then he said goodbye to his family, raced to his ship, and flew in the direction the red lantern was headed. Days later Dobbs discovered the jump from Sol to Davian, appending contemporary scientific thinking that predicted no additional jump point existed in the Sol system. Spread of the Red Festival. Today, many people wonder if Wendell Dobbs' story about the Red Lantern might have been embellished. They point to numerous voyages Dobbs took into that sector of Sol before receiving his jump drive. On those trips he tested and refined new scanning techniques that, after his discovery of Davian, other explorers adopted and inventors integrated into more advanced jump scanning technology. His success inspired others to try their luck launching on the final day of that year's Red Festival. The practice became so commonplace that several landing zones were forced to place a cap on launches on that day to reduce congestion. They eventually instituted a lottery system to award launch slots after an investigation by the UNE revealed that some landing zone officials were selling slots to the highest bidder. Shanghai also became considered a lucky place to launch. People traveled from across the world to leave from that landing zone, and many of them celebrated the Red Festival. For decades, the Project Far Star office in Shanghai recruited and helped send more colonists to live off-world than any other. The colonists' eagerness to go, combined with their calms about what life was really like on these new worlds, convinced millions more to follow. They did and brought the traditions of the Red Festival with them. In the 25th century, one of the biggest off-Earth celebrations of the Red Festival occurred in Davian where, in 2438, humanity first encountered the Banu. Since then, Banu traders became a staple of the system and knew to stock their merchantmans with red items and gilded envelopes around the Red Festival. While no one knows exactly who hid the first envelope for someone to find, the tradition began in Davian and expanded from there. Hiding and searching for these lucky envelopes became commonplace across the empire by the early 26th century, and as the tradition grew in popularity, so did the Red Festival. All thanks in part to Wendell Dobbs' discovery of Davian, the millions of colonists who celebrated the Red Festival, and the Banu who adopted and evolved its traditions.